Derek, thanks again for joining us. First of all, big news from camp today is that Lawrence Shankland has agreed to rejoin Hearts. Can you talk us a little bit through that?
Yeah, obviously it's been a kind of drawn out process, as a lot of these things are. A lot of the time I said repeatedly really it was worth waiting for, and I genuinely believe that. Having worked with the squad now, I can see we've got so many good things going for us, but I feel as though we're kind of about 80% of the way to the squad. We still need to add the bits and pieces, but underneath it all was trying to find a striker who has that evidence of work, who can score goals. And Lawrence, not only being ingrained in the club the last few years, been a big player for the club, knows his way about the Premier League, knows his way to goal. It just made so much sense in so many levels for me. And I've known Lawrence since he was a young boy, and I know that how important family is to him and how important being happy is. So I always felt that was a huge advantage for us. Not only has he enjoyed his time at Hearts, those family connections are always very strong. And listen, it's a short career. There's no criticism for a boy who's made the decision to go out of contract. It's a short career for players. They maybe need to look at other options, and I think he's had a look. He's turned down one or two things, and he's shied away from that. And we're always here waiting for him, to be honest. As the time would have developed, we couldn't have waited forever, as we kind of alluded to. But thankfully, we had a brilliant conversation about Lawrence coming less than 48 hours ago, and it was all quickly done from there on in. Because, you know, the club have been hugely supportive of me to try and get this done. We haven't thrown any more money at the deal to get this over the line. I need to say that. This was solely driven by Lawrence to get this done. And don't get me wrong, it's a big outlay for the club initially, but we feel he's worth it. And I do feel that having that recognised number 9, a goal scorer with real pedigree, Scotland internationalist, the motivation for Lawrence to do well here, not only at a club that he loves, a club that he's happy with. You see the way he's embraced with his teammates this morning. Really popular boy, but he's got so much to do here. You know, in my time at Hearts, I wanted to make sure it's successful, and I want Lawrence to feel exactly the same, and he does. You know, we want to be lifting silverware, we want to be going into group stages in Europe, and we want to have a consistent thing going here. And that is the driver for all of us. And I do feel that having Lawrence in the building gives us a better chance of achieving all that.
That's it. It's obviously the benefits Lawrence brings on the pitch, but off the pitch too, as you touched on, the right kind of character you want at a club.
Yeah, like I say, he's a good boy, popular boy. There is that, he carries that expectation, and all the times, and sometimes when he's going well, everything's going well for him. He gets that hero status. And other times, like last season, when he had to dig deep, when things weren't going as smoothly for him, it's ultimately sometimes he gets a lot of unnecessary criticism. I, for one, I think know what makes him tick. We need to try and be a team that gives him the best chance to shine. He's also got to give us that goal return on the back of that. But he takes it on his shoulders. He knows his responsibility. And I felt last season, even I watched from outside some of his interviews, I thought he carried too much burden on his shoulders. And I think he felt the weight of that responsibility, and unnecessarily so. I think he suffered because of it. But he was still getting into good areas. He was still working hard. And for us, it's about trying to make the best of what we've got. And it's up to us to try and provide good service for him, a team that's willing to play forward, a team that's willing to give him the best opportunity to score goals. And I think even you've seen in the latter part of the season a wee bit more goal return. When he's the last touch, he's a Hearts player nearest to goal, not furthest, 4 or 5 Hearts players ahead of him. And for me, he needs to be the guy a lot of the time who gets that last touch for us and gets the goal. He's also got, I think it's 16 or so assists last season. So while he might not get the same goal return, he still had an effect on a lot of the positive play Hearts had. So magic signing for us. I couldn't be more pleased. Delighted the club have supported me on this. The club deserve a lot of credit for getting this one done, because for a long time it looked as if we were up against it, and we certainly weren't favourites, but we've managed to get them here, and all that's forgotten about now, and we just crack on.
Just finally, Derek, Lawrence will have his first session with the boys today, this morning. We had our friendly with St Mirren last night, a good run out for the boys, 1-1 draw, and then finally we'll round off the week with another friendly against Crawley Town. How did you reflect on the friendly just gone and looking ahead to Crawley?
Well, a few things from it. At the very outset, there's a familiarity there. It was a very competitive game, because it's two Scottish teams who know each other, two managers who know each other, and you've got these wee Spanish officials trying to keep a lid on it. So it was a very competitive game for a friendly and for our first kind of run out. So we got loads of benefits from it. We asked for 4 things really before the game, and we never quite managed to get them all. We wanted a win. We wanted to come through it without any injuries, which we didn't with Big Jamie. We wanted a clean sheet, which we didn't get, but we wanted to make the game intense. We wanted to make it a quick game so we get all the benefit of the fitness. So the only thing we got out of it for all those outset objectives at the outset was the fitness part of it. And managers say all the time, results aren't the most important thing through pre-season, and they're not. And nobody's going to be perfect at this moment in time, but I thought it was a good step towards where I wanted us to be. There was clearly, it screamed to me as well with certain things that we still need to do more naturally, and we're still not there yet, and I don't expect us to be there yet. But we do need to move up and down the pitch together a bit more. We do need to control games. I thought we controlled the game for large spells, out with the first 15-20 minutes or so, when it was a wee bit backward and forth. But I still would like us to try and be have a wee bit more of a punch, a wee bit more purpose with our passing, a wee bit more penetration. But behind it all, I thought it was great effort, good fitness levels shown, and a brilliant exercise at this stage of the season.
And just quickly, Jimmy McCart, as you touched on there, picked up a wee injury. Early days, how's he looking?
So he's in a boot and on crutches, so we'll just need to wait and see, get that assessed. So we'll get that scanned, I think, tomorrow, and then we'll see what we're dealing with. It's never, you always fear the worst in these things, but I think it's important we try and hope for the best with it. Hopefully once the scan results show it's not anything too sinister, and he'll be back with us, because he's done brilliant, Jamie. I've always known Jamie was a good player, and I think he done well for Hearts when he came in January, and I've enjoyed working with him, and I think he's got a big part to play for us, so hopefully he's not out too long, but certainly we'll probably miss this game and maybe the friendly midweek next week, but once we get the scan results we'll know what we're dealing with.